Paracas. It is a desert peninsula located in the Pisco province in the Inca region on the south coast of Peru. It's here where Peruvian archaeologist Julio Tello made an amazing discovery in 1928. And what he found was a massive and elaborate graveyard containing tombs filled with the remains of individuals with the largest elongated skulls found anywhere in the world. Now, they've been known as the Paracas skulls, and in total, Tello found more than 300 of these elongated skulls, which are believed to date back around 3,000 years. Now, they took a DNA analysis of one of these, and it's been some time, but now the results are back, and expert Brian Forrester has released preliminary information regarding these enigmatic skulls. And what he has to say is pretty crazy. Let's see if they got a statement right here. He says that it has mitochondrial DNA with mutations unknown in any human, primate, or animal known so far. But a few fragments he was able to sequence from the sample indicate that if these mutations hold, they are dealing with a new human-like creature, very distant from Homo sapiens, Neanderthals, and others. So he's basically come out, and he's got the full interview right here. I'll leave a link so you guys can check it out. But it's interesting, I believe, because what's different with these skulls than others is that the shape of them is different because of the volume. Now, people can go back in time and look and see where they've shaped their heads with boards by binding and flattening, but that's always shown that they can change the shape of the head, but not the volume. Just like if you had a piece of pottery, you could change the shape of it, but not the volume. It's written in your DNA. So they're saying that these skulls were made like this naturally, and that the plates that humans have in their skull, they have two. These have one large one, and they're made like that. Very interesting information. Nonetheless, as they get more results, I'm sure they'll be even more interesting, and I'll make sure I share them with you as well. But interesting story so far on the preliminary results, and we'll see what comes of it from here. But it's no secret to me, I believe you're looking at the Nephilim. Straight up. I'll leave links. Till next time, this has been Dabu7. Eyes open.
Concerns with Winter Storm Pax's dangerous travel conditions, Atlanta officials vowed to keep the city from shutting down like it did 2 weeks ago. The Weather Channel's Dave Malkoff is at the Georgia Maintenance Yard in Atlanta now. Hi, Dave.
Hey there, Matt. The rain is coming down here in Atlanta, and that changes what these trucks behind me are going to do here at the state facility where the salt trucks and the plows originate from. Now, normally, if the rain wasn't coming down, they would actually pour something called brine on the roadways. It is basically a salt water, like a brine that you would put pickles in, but you don't want to pickle anything in this stuff because this is nasty stuff, and it goes on the roadway and it will melt the salt, and it will melt the snow and the ice very easily. But the problem is it can't happen in the rain because as the rain comes down, it will just wash this liquid away. So what they're turning to is this gravel and salt mixture. Now, as they put this down on the road, not only does the salt melt the ice, but the gravel stays behind, and that will add some extra traction to the roadways. You remember 2 weeks ago here in Atlanta, people were just spinning their tires. They were stranded on the roadways. They were sleeping in their cars and sleeping in their schools, and that's not the situation they want to happen. So they're going to put this stuff on the roadway in plenty of time before the ice starts to form. This time around, it's not happening right in the middle of the day when there's tons of people on the roadways. It's happening in the overnight hours. We're expecting the icing to happen between midnight and 3 a.m. on both days. And then so they have a lot of time to get out there on the roadways, spread that stuff on the ground. And so by the time people start waking up, the ice will possibly be melted. So we're hoping for a different solution this time around. Back to you, Matt.
All right. Thanks, Dave. We're covering winter storm packs like no one else on the Weather Channel, weather.com, and your mobile devices.
Today is February 10, 2014 on a Monday. It's 10:38 p.m. Pacific Time. And up next, this is by Mark Prigg of the Daily Mail. It's dated February 5th, 2014. The real-life Death Star. U.S. researchers developing super laser. And there it is. The project has been nicknamed the Death Star after the Star Wars craft that could blow up planets. It will emit a short laser burst with an intensity of 1,023 watts per square centimeter, 100,000 times more power than all the power stations in the world combined. Laser bursts will last only 1/100th of a billionth of a second. Laser being built by Lawrence Livermore Lab in the U.S. It will be the most powerful laser ever created and could give researchers incredible new insights into how the cosmos was created. Called the High Repetition Rate Advanced Petawatt Laser System, it will emit 100,000 times more power than all the power stations in the world for a tiny fraction of a second. It has even been nicknamed the Death Star laser for its similarity to Darth Vader's laser-wielding base in Star Wars. The project has been nicknamed the Death Star after the Star Wars craft that could blow up planets. How powerful is it? HAPLS is designed to ultimately generate a peak power greater than 1 petawatt, 10, 15, or 1 quadrillion watts. Each pulse will deliver 30 joules of energy in less than 30 femtoseconds, trillionths of a second, or, and all those zeros, the time it takes light to travel a fraction of the width of a human hair. The laser system will deliver these pulses of light at 10 hertz, 10 repetitions per second. The Extreme Light Infrastructure Beamlines project is an EU-funded lab being developed with experts from around the world, including Lawrence Livermore Lab in the U.S. and being built in the Czech Republic. And I'm going to read a little bit more on this article, just a moment. Due to be switched on by 2017, it will emit a short laser burst with an intensity of 1,023 watts per square centimeter. ELI will become the first international laser research facility, much like a CERN for laser research, hosting some of the world's most powerful lasers, enabling a new era of unique research opportunities for users from all countries, said Professor Wolfgang Sandner, Director General of the ELI Delivery Consortium International Association. The system combines technologies from across Europe and from around the world. It relies on a scheme referred to as double-chirped pulse amplification, enabling high signal-to-noise in the output pulses, which will seed HAPLS. And here's a diagram of it. All right, what it supposedly looks like. The Death Star laser, the solid-state short pulse laser, converts the energy from the pump laser to 30 joule, 30 femtosecond pulses for a peak power exceeding 1 petawatt. The laser system measures just 4.6 meters wide and 17 meters long. HAPLS's high repetition rate will make possible new scientific discoveries, said Livermore physicist and HAPLS project manager Konstantin Hafner.
Who do they plan on shooting with that? Wow. Live, this is One for the Record. I'm Diane, and today is February 11th, 2014. here are your news updates for today. Let's go into the Extinction Protocol 2012 and beyond. Store shelves stripped bare. Georgia ice storm could take out electric grid. Heads up. Alrighty then. Let's move on. I'm attaching a lot of stuff, so stay tuned. Any news, energy news. Science Mag. Radioactive substances that wash up on beaches can enter water supply. Particles left on sand after high tide accumulate. Important process with Fukushima releases. Moving on. Any news, energy news. U.S., Canada. Government radiation levels too high in Unit 4, coming from small pieces of cobalt-60. Workers forced to cover floor with lead experts. Significant loss of leak tightness. Leak tightness? Possible in Fukushima fuel pools. Also today, seismologists could easily have magnitude 6 quake below Fukushima plant with very destructive result. Professor, there's no way to stabilize fuel pool against strong quake. Also today, Japan TV. And now concerns are growing. A new source of leakage at Fukushima. The situation could become even more serious. Groundwater expert. I doubt even experts could have imagined this. Alrighty then, stay tuned. I did a little browsing. We did some cruising around the YouTube channels. So stay tuned. And by now you might have seen the picture of the Anunnaki. I don't know. Seems like those were the Nephilim, Anunnaki, Egyptian pharaohs. Crazy. Alrighty then. Stay tuned. And I'll see you again on the flip side. Now it's 2 days down. Tuesday. 2 days down. Tuesday. 3 to go before the weekend. See you again tomorrow. Stay safe. Check on neighbors. People who don't have anyone else, make sure they're safe. Everybody has supplies. Share any supplies you have to share. Make sure the pets are inside. This ice storm's not going to hit till tonight. And I'll see you again tomorrow. And I said yesterday on my video, with all the spraying and all the chemtrails, could they be changing our atmospheric pressure? They're going to make this, the earth is going to become uninhabitable for humans. You know that, right? And most any other creature on the planet, if they don't stop messing with the planet. Alright, take care. Be safe. Be safe, Tippy. I see you in the background. She's down there in the corner.
Well, in Siberia, today is February the 10th, 2014. Today's February 11th, actually, 2014. This happened yesterday. Urgent checks are underway to analyze the cause of this black snowflakes with suspicions that the cause is maybe a local thermal power station that was working at overload capacity, maybe. The Federal Environmental, Industrial, and Nuclear Supervision agencies are investigating. Is it fallout from Fukushima? Is it some kind of chemtrails that they They overextended. The plane got stalled up in the air. What's going on? We're receiving all kinds of calls about this strange snow, said one of the spokesmen. From our 5th floor window, the snow looks like it's covered in a dark, dirty soot. It's now what you expect in Siberia, folks. And get this. Also, there's another report. I want to thank Tina from Indiana, actually, for sending me this report. Black snow falls in Siberian city. February 9th, which, okay, I was wrong when I said February 10th. February 9th, 2014, the black snow covered the ground in a city in Siberia, raising concerns among local residents, as Russia's environmental watchdogs are saying. This is not, though, the first time, maybe, that an oddly colored snow has fallen in West Siberia, but black snow appeared in the region last winter, but not to this degree. I mean, a little bit, some speckled black in the white. This is black. This stuff is dark. And are you serious? Are you serious, folks? Is there something biblical going on here with the signs of the... Are you serious? Is the Lord coming back soon? Because the one thing that the water's turning red, I know that's in the Bible, but I don't think it says that the snow will turn black. But man has polluted the earth. Man, the land is greatly polluted, as the Bible says in the book of Hosea. I think it's time and high time that people understand we're truly living in the last days. Is this part of Agenda 21, just testing it out in Siberia?
And it smells like plastic.
And maybe they should go get that guy who says he's Jesus Christ. There is a guy who lives in Siberia, Russia, who says he's Jesus Christ of Siberia. I think it's time for him. He doesn't have to turn the water into wine. We won't put that kind of pressure on him. But can he turn the black snow back to white? Priceless bronze statue of the Greek god Apollo in the Gaza Strip? What? Are you serious? And guess how this isn't. Are you serious? Get this, folks. Let me show you this. This is an ancient bronze statue of the Greek god Apollo. But you're not going to believe this. This thing was life-size. It weighed 1,100 pounds. And a fisherman fishing off the coast of the Gaza Strip said he caught it in his net. What? I mean, how in the world did the Greek god Apollo statue get over in Gaza? On the shores of Gaza in the Mediterranean? Who put it there? How did it get there? And how did he find it? Well, wait. Lost for centuries. This rare bronze statue of the Greek god Apollo has mysteriously resurfaced, if you will, in the Gaza Strip, only to be seized by the police and vanish almost immediately from view. And the police we're talking about here is the Hamas. Now, word of the remarkable find has caught the imagination of the world of archaeology, but the police cannot say when the life-size bronze statue might be reemerged or where it might be put on display. They're looking for somebody to buy this. They're looking to cash in, guys, several $1 million. Now, a local fisherman says he scooped it up. He scooped it up. 1,100-pound god from the seabed last August of 2013 and carried it home on a donkey cart, unaware of the significance of his catch. Then, now wait a minute, wait a minute. You're telling me that a bronze statue of the Greek god Apollo was somehow in the Mediterranean Sea, somehow got scooped up by a local fisherman, didn't know what he had, put it on a donkey cart, and had a donkey drag this dead god into Gaza. Did you say drag a dead god into Gaza? That's exactly right. The dead god Apollo drugged the dead god into Gaza with a donkey pulling it on a donkey cart. Can I just, you know what just struck my mind about that? And when I heard this yesterday, it's amazing. But Greek for those of you who are so into all your gods, if your god has to be drug out of the bottom of the sea and pulled on a donkey cart into the Gaza Strip, you ain't got much, dude. Because my Lord and Savior, he commanded a colt to be loosed that had never been rode on. And he himself got on top of a donkey and rode it into the great city of Jerusalem alive, as the entire city was engulfed with praise, singing Hosanna to the highest, throwing their coat at the fishermen. Well, he started to realize maybe this statue is would be worth some money, so he put it on eBay. And he tried to sell it for $500,000. That's when the Islamic group Hamas police went in and took it swiftly, seized it from him, and decided they're going to deal with it and what they're going to do with it. Well, I'm sure several $1 million later, it will wind up probably in the Smithsonian or some other great museum in the world.
February the 11th, 2014. Guys, this is the X-ray flux data chart out of Boulder. Now, you notice we have an uptick in the last few frames there, started after midnight on the 11th. That would be universal time. And a couple things while I'm on this page I want to point out. Guys, this is the pole coordinates as the Earth spins. We talked about being out of kilter, the tilt. The center blue square is the center of this. But notice there, 2013, November the 30th, that's as our sun had wrapped around the sun, there's a dip. Now, it dips all the way down for about 15 days and then tries to come back out. You can see the yellow dots are the dates when the tip of the Earth, or in other words, if you run a rod straight through the Earth, through the poles, and then tilted it, this is where the top of the rod would be as it spin at that tilt. But notice that, and then the weather got crazy. Not sure, and I've noticed this when it happened, but I'm not sure if it was a a computer glitch, but it was never corrected. But now, we've had a flare. It was a filament release. I've been watching it a few days. And it's Earth-facing, but it was on the top section of the sun. In other words, I think most of the energy will go over the Earth. We will see some impacts, but it was not directly Earth-facing. It was, again, I think it will go above the Earth. Notice on Valentine's Day at 12 o'clock UTC time, it will be right at the approach of Earth. Notice also the green, yellow, and brown dots. That's Earth, Venus, and Mercury, guys. All of their magnetic lines will be lining up. Did you notice that? It would be interesting to watch that. Now, these are pick this up during a flare, and it possibly already has, but check that out. It just seems to be kind of hovering there. It does not seem to be a scratch on the lens. It's not a common thing. You can actually see it changing. There's a slight movement, not much. Not sure what that is. But I'm going to show you on the SETI images some very interesting things. This is LASCO C3 while we're on LASCO, guys. Just show you the flare activity back for the last few days. Now what it's not showing is the last flare to the right. It's not come through on this LASCO C3. It will be updated probably within the hour. Now it takes us sometimes about an hour to do these, so I like to update that X-ray flux at the end of the videos. Now this is SETI. This is A, and this is the one we're going to watch sighting spring come in. But there's a lot of activity, guys. We've got something diving down towards the ecliptic of the inner solar system. And I'll get closer to that. There's actually about 4 objects on the screen. Look in the dead center there. That's the one that's been bright, and it seems to be getting a little brighter. That's in the center of SETI. Now we have one to the top left of that that's moving along with it. There's one above these, and I'll show you that's moving down. We have one to the bottom right that's moving up. And we've also been told, and we've talked about this with Michael, who, by the way, tonight at 6 p.m. Central is going to be on our Blog Talk show. So we're going to get some updates. Here's our two objects. Now, these two seem to be running with the ecliptic, probably asteroids that are listed. If we dig through all your JPLs and look at your probably eyes on the solar system, we can probably name those two. But now the one above that's diving down, and this one is not listed. I don't think there's a JPL for it. I've checked. This one has an upward motion. Remember, there's supposedly meteor storms and debris being led from below the sun up into the inner solar system. They're supposedly watching that. Now that would be your your South Pole, your Antarctic, your South America telescopes. But guys, that when you see an object like this, that's not a comet, that doesn't have a tail. Either it could be a comet, but it would have to be so far away from the sun that it has not created any comma or anything around it yet, any tail. But it's large. That's my point. There's 4 stars there you see in that line, and it's at the bottom of that star there. It's moving to the left. I know it's hard to see, but they're here, and it's moving up into the ecliptic. This may be one of the things. Now this is above Earth, and it has a downward movement right there. It's diving down towards the ecliptic. Not sure if that's listed or not. We were also told that possibly some of ISON's debris would be pulled back into the inner solar system because of the gravity of the sun. They'll rip back on I think November 19th. Remember, guys, it was coming in, Inky was under, and it ripped back. But this object, whatever that is that's there, is stationary, not sure. Now, let's go back and look at this. When I started the video, we were in the uptick. Now, you see that we've had one more flare since that point. It's taken an hour or so to do this, so there is an uptick. We're watching it, and the uptick is from Earth-facing sunspots. Now, this is the latest from stereo behind. You saw that blast at different angle. Now, this is off to the right of the sun. This was a small flare with the coronal mass ejection. These are Earth-facing images.
Quake map. It's in my firm belief we have not seen strong earthquake activity in a long time. I have not seen a 7-pointer break loose in a long time. I think we are due for a massive quake at any time. I mean, we're always due any day. Anything can happen. But I really do believe that after all this time not seeing any massive quakes, that a massive quake is due to break loose. And maybe not in an area that we always see a lot of activity. Okay? And in the past 2 hours alone, we've seen activity here, here. Look at this, New England off the East Coast. In Yellowstone, a 3.5 80 minutes ago. So that's a look at those quakes. There's more going on than this map shows here. And a quick look over here at this region as well. I'll leave links as I get more information. I'll keep you guys updated. Until next time, stay safe, stay sharp, eyes open.